The story of a cheating wife began on a crisp autumn evening in London, the kind where you can sense the city's energy slowing down just enough for people to breathe and pause before the rush of the week begins. I sat at our kitchen table, a glass of whiskey in hand, staring at the quiet glow of the lamp in the corner. Anna, my wife, was out again. Not that I had much of a reason to complain. She worked long hours, just like I did. We had both climbed the ladder in the fast-paced world of finance, me as a senior analyst at a top-tier hedge fund and her as an investment banker. We had both sacrificed family time for ambition, believing that the life we were building would be worth it. But that night, everything felt different. There was something in the air that I couldn't quite explain. Something off. I couldn't put my finger on it, but a gut feeling gnawed at me. Why had she left so suddenly? Why was she being so secretive? These were questions I should have asked myself months ago, but I chose to ignore them. I convinced myself it was nothing. She deserved her space. I needed mine, a bit of time away from the stress of work. The truth was, I had been busy, too busy to notice, too busy to realize that Anna was pulling away. But in that moment, as the evening dragged on, I could feel the weight of the silence pressing down on me. I knew something was wrong. I remember the first sign that something was off. It was small, insignificant to most, but to me, it was enough. I had noticed it weeks earlier, but I had let it slip through the cracks of my busy mind. Her perfume. The scent was new, different, fresher than the one she had always worn. At first, I didn't think much of it. Maybe she had bought a new bottle. But then I found it. A receipt tucked between the pages of a magazine on the coffee table. The perfume was a brand I didn't recognize. A $300 bottle. One she had never shown any interest in before. She had always been frugal when it came to such things, opting for the cheaper, more practical choices. That receipt haunted me. It wasn't just the perfume. It was the fact that she had tried to hide it from me. A small, insignificant lie, but a lie nonetheless. Why? I couldn't shake the question. The night of the dinner was one I'll never forget. It was supposed to be a rare moment for us, just the two of us. After all, we had been neglecting each other, consumed by work and personal ambitions. I tried to make it special. I cooked her favorite meal, set the table with candles, and even brought out the fine wine we had been saving for a special occasion. But she didn't come home. She texted me at 8 p.m., saying she was running late at work again. I believed her. After all, that was the life we lived. Always working, always chasing the next big deal. I ate alone that night, staring at the empty chair across from me. The wine went untouched. The table stayed set for two, but it felt like I was just going through the motions. Then, as if the universe had conspired against me, my phone buzzed. It was Anna's name, but when I picked up, it wasn't her voice I heard. It was his. "Is this a bad time, Henrik?" The voice was smooth, almost too smooth, with an undertone of arrogance that sent chills down my spine. It took me a moment to recognize it. It was Sebastian, a colleague of Anna's, a man I had never thought much of, just another suit in the world of finance. But I had always sensed something about him. His charming smile, the way he looked at Anna a little too long, that subtle, uncomfortable energy that most people missed, but that I had come to recognize. "Sebastian," I said, my voice tight. "What's going on? Where's Anna?" "She's busy," he replied. "But we were having drinks after work, and I thought I'd give you a call. She wanted me to let you know that she's staying over here tonight." My stomach sank. Staying over? I didn't like the sound of that, but I kept my composure. "All right," I said, trying to sound casual. "Thanks for letting me know." But that wasn't the worst part. The worst part was the way he said it next. "I hope she didn't keep you waiting for too long." There was something cold in his words, something that stung with a truth I wasn't ready to accept. As we dive deeper into the twist of this story, I'd love for you to join our storytelling family here at Lauren's Story. If you're captivated so far, why not take a second to tap that subscribe button? Let's continue and see how this story unfolds. The days following that phone call were a blur. I didn't confront Anna right away. Part of me wanted to believe that maybe I had misunderstood, that perhaps Sebastian's words were just a mistake. But then I began to notice more. I checked her phone, something I had never done before. There were texts between her and Sebastian, and they weren't just casual work messages. There were flirtations, inside jokes, long late-night chats that felt more intimate than anything Anna and I had shared in months. I couldn't breathe. My heart pounded as the reality set in. She was having an affair with him. But I wasn't just angry. I was disillusioned. This was the woman I had shared my life with, the woman I had trusted with everything. And yet, there she was, betraying me in the most painful way possible. The moment finally came, and it felt like the universe had been preparing me for it. Anna walked through the door late one evening, looking exhausted but radiant. She was wearing a different perfume again, one I didn't recognize. I couldn't hold it in any longer. "Anna," I said, my voice shaking, "is there something you need to tell me?" Her face went pale. The guilt was written all over her face, even though she tried to hide it. She stammered, fumbling for words, but I didn't let her off the hook. "Tell me the truth," I demanded. "Are you seeing him?" At first, she denied it, but I could see it in her eyes, the hesitation, the guilt. It was all there. Finally, she confessed. She wasn't just seeing Sebastian. She was in love with him. I should have been angry. I should have screamed at her, but I didn't. Instead, I stood there, calm, detached. I had learned something about myself in those dark moments. I wasn't going to give her the satisfaction of seeing me fall apart. I decided to get my revenge, not through violence or shouting, but through strategy. I knew that Sebastian was equally ambitious as Anna, and I knew where his weakness lay. Over the next few months, I played a slow, subtle game. I made sure that certain private information about his business dealings slipped into the wrong hands. I crafted situations where he looked like a fool in front of his superiors. Slowly, his reputation crumbled. Anna watched as he lost everything: the promotions, the deals, the respect. And in the end, when he had nothing left, I made my final move. It was at a company gala, months later, that I saw them again, and I had no idea what was coming. She had never asked why I was so calm, so composed. But tonight, I knew it would all come crashing down. As she stood next to Sebastian, laughing and sipping champagne, I walked over, calmly, decisively. I leaned in and whispered into her ear, "You've lost him, Anna. He's ruined." Her face went white. She turned to Sebastian, who was staring at me with disbelief. "You can't do this," she whispered, but it was too late. I had won, not through anger, but through patience and intelligence. In the end, Anna left him. She returned to me, humbled, broken. She apologized over and over again, but I was done. She wasn't the woman I thought she was, and she would never be again. As for me, I walked away from it all. I rebuilt my life, piece by piece. I learned that betrayal doesn't just change relationships. It changes you. In the end, I realized that sometimes the greatest revenge is simply walking away. When everything is lost, the only thing left is your own strength to rise again. Thank you for being a part of this story with me. If it moved you, please give the video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to Lauren's Story. I've noticed many of you who enjoy these stories aren't subscribed yet. By subscribing, you're not just following a channel. You're becoming part of a community that values deep, meaningful storytelling. Let's continue exploring these heartfelt journeys together. Don't forget to click the notification bell so you won't miss our next story.